from a group who give great pleasure in one way to another musical group, and one member of it who gives great pleasure in a slightly different way, but much the same. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul McCartney. Paul, it's great to have you here, and one thing, as we've been rehearsing today, that I've been wondering is whether, in fact, you ever expected things to be as good for you as, in fact, they've been. When you started as a group, did you expect things to go like this? Did you?
No. We used to sort of think of things in stages. Still do, I think.
Yeah.
When we first started off, playing in the cabin and things, I thought, first of all, let's get a record contract. We all did. We got a record contract. We said, let's get a #1 hit. Got one of them.
Yeah.
And
so I hear. Yeah.
Went on. We do it in stages. So we never thought.
But after you got a #1 hit, you hoped for another #1 hit. Did you?
Yeah.
Then what?
Something like the Royal Variety Performance.
And
something
then?
sort of big and thing. Yeah. Then what came after that? America, I think.
Yeah. Which was marvelous. And after America,
the film.
Now, it's fairly close to the film being as big a success as everything else, I should think. Now, if it is, in sort of a bit later this year, a big success, what will be the next ambition then?
I don't know, another film probably,
Yeah.
I think that's about the only
success. And what about after that?
Oh, don't ask me, I'm only doing it.
Have you got any ambitions, in fact, in other spheres completely? I mean, do you want to be Prime Minister one day? Or, I mean, does that sort of thing?
No, I don't want to be, no, nothing like that, no. God. Retire, that's quite...
Retire. And when do you think you'll achieve that ambition, in fact?
The way things are going in a couple of years or so. No idea.
When people usually ask you what's the best thing about being one of the Beatles at this stage, what you usually reply, the money, as the first quip, as fact. But what after that's one of the good things?
Being able to do things that you enjoy doing, rather than if, you get a bit of power when you sort of, you reach a sort of certain stage where you get a bit of power, and in that you can suggest things that you want to do to people. Now we can turn around to Brian and say, could we do such and such a thing, like a film, and he can say, well, I'll try and fix it, boy. Yeah. So, and he does, he's good like that, so,
Useful man to have about, actually.
Oh, he's great.
Yes. Yeah. But so the power it gives you basically is a power to do what you want, is it?
Yeah, so, rather than sort of being struggling unknowns and trying to do things that we'd never be able to do, we can now do more things that we'd like to. I think that's sort of a good part of it. And
when you write music, which you do a great deal with John Lennon and so on, you write it very much and marvellously in the current idiom. Do you feel that later on, when you move into another period, say in 5 years' time, you'll be writing in the same idiom or different? Will you change with the times?
Well, I think the point is that the tunes that we write aren't in any idiom. Idiot. They aren't. It's just, I think it's just the arrangements, like the arrangements of today. For instance, From Me to You, it could be done as a sort of old ragtime tune, especially the middle eight. And so, we're not writing the tunes in any particular idiom. So, in fact, in 5 years' time, we may arrange the tunes differently, but we probably write the same old rubbish.
And how do you judge a good song when you've written it? By what?
By us liking it. John and I, if we like it, and we think it's a good one. It's a combination of liking it and what is commercial, what we think other people are like.
Can it be a good song if you like it and nobody was to buy it? That hasn't happened yet. But...
Well, it always is for us. If we like it, in fact, we don't like bad songs. That's all there is to it, sort of thing.
Of course, everybody, I imagine, says to you the pop world is very short-lived and everything like that. And what will you do when the phase passes? Do you think the phase will pass? Does it worry you?
No. I couldn't care less, really. I don't think. If we flop tomorrow, it'd be sad, Yeah. But I mean, it wouldn't really worry me.
Could you go back to doing something else?
Oh, I don't know. I'd miss doing this, but I think I'd think of something else to do.
What would you do?
I'd like to do? Write songs for other people.
Yeah. Anything completely different?
Completely different. Retire, that's completely different.
Well,
really,
it'll be... Thank you very much. It'll be a great pleasure to watch Paul McCartney in retirement, but it'll probably be in the year about 2010, I should think.
Thank you.
As you may know, in fact, Paul was in the States for quite a bit of this year, and he's returning soon. I was there for a time, and while I was there, one of the things I did was the American version of That Was the Week. And on that show,